the cultural structure and values and attitudes of the Mount Kenya community are substantially similar, even though there may be small details of variation?
No.
So it is your case, the culture of the MERU, Embu, and the Gikuyu are vastly different.
Yes.
Are their languages also vastly different, or are they substantially mutually intelligible?
Different.
Are they mutually intelligible?
No.
I put it to you, KAWIRA, that anyone who lives in this country actually knows there isn't much difference in the cultures, values, and attitudes of those three communities. What do you say to that?
There is difference because, for example, in Meru we have Jorincheke. Do the Kikuyus have Jorincheke?
They have Kiama, and I'm sure you know even the Jorincheke is also called Kiama. It's just a difference of names. Anyway, Governor KAWIRA MWANGAZA is the governor of Embu a man or a woman?
A woman.
To the best of your knowledge, is this woman governor being hounded out by some misogynistic male leadership?
Unless she's here to testify, I cannot testify.
To the best of your knowledge, has the woman governor of Embu been impeached 3 times? Has she faced 3 impeachment motions in the last 1 year?
I know of one Anu Waiguru who was impeached twice.
Let's stick to Embu for now. Has the governor of Embu faced 3 impeachment motions in the last 1 year?
No.
Nakuru equally has a woman governor, right?
Yes.
It has a huge population of Mount Kenya diaspora. True or untrue?
True.
Has that woman governor in Nakuru faced 3 impeachment motions in the last 1 year?
No.
Kwale as a woman governor, true or false?
True.
The people of Kwale are Bantus, just like the people of Mount Kenya, correct or incorrect?
Correct.
Has that woman governor faced 3 impeachment motions in the last 1 year?
No.
Homa Bay, which is a different cultural area, as a woman governor, correct or incorrect?
Correct.
Has she faced any impeachment motion in the last 1 year?
No.
As a matter of fact, MERU itself, as an elected woman MCA, correct or incorrect?
Correct.
To the best of your knowledge, has that woman MCA in MERU encountered any backlash from a toxic masculinity to hound her out of office?
Several times.
Have you adduced that evidence anywhere in your response?
No, because it was not part and parcel of my response.
MERU as a woman representative, correct or incorrect?
Correct.
In fact, you yourself were a woman representative of MERU for a whole 5 years.
Yes.
Did anyone try to recall you because you are a woman?
No.
Good. Let's go to, you just told Mr. Speaker, it's more common story in MERU. Tell me whether you know of this story, which is also very common in MERU, of a woman who would beat her husband, then scream, and because the society is socialized to think it is the man beating the woman, and she has locked the house, people would think it is the man who was beating the woman, while the truth was the other way around. Have you ever heard of that story?
No.
Of course, you've never heard of it, because it's not convenient. Let's agree, Governor KAWIRA, for argument's sake, without conceding, let's agree the MCAs are indeed acting under the influence of external people. Would that mean your sisters never received the monies we allege?
Pardon?
If we temporarily agree for argument's sake that the reason the MCAs have impeached you all these times is because of toxic masculinity and evil motives and malice and whatnot, we want, for argument's sake, in my next series of questions, to work on the assumption that that is true. If the MCAs are malicious, would that be an answer to why your sisters were receiving monies irregularly from the county?
No.
If the MCAs are intimidated or influenced, would that be an answer to the count on usurpation of statutory functions of the County Public Service Board?
No.
Indeed, Governor KAWIRA, the motivations of the MCAs, you will agree, are therefore irrelevant as long as there is evidence in support of the charge.
There is no support in the charge.
That's for the Senate to decide, but assuming there is evidence in support of the charge, is it your position the charge would fail because even though there is evidence, the MCAs are driven by an ulterior motive? Is that what you're inviting the Senate to do, assuming the Senate believes you're an innocent victim of evil machinations? Does that undo the evidence against you on the charges?
The charges should have evidence.
If they have the evidence, my question is, would evil intentions on the part of the MCAs undo that evidence? Would the evidence cease to exist because the MCAs are acting maliciously?
No.
The answer is?
No.
No. So you will agree with me, therefore, the case against you should be decided on the evidence, not on the motivations of the MCAs.
Yes, on the evidence.
Thank you very much. That's a very useful answer. Let's go to the complaint by Celesio. Mr. Speaker, that would be from page 1 of volume 2. You just told the Senate that the reason you did not account for the entire 78 million is because the motion only related to your sisters. Is that still your position?
Yes.
Did you read volume 2 as you read the impeachment motion?
Where is the volume?
Did you read the bundle that contains the Assembly's evidence?
The evidence is the IFMIS extract by Celesio.
Correct.
Yes.
In fact, the impeachment motion says the evidence is in the complaint by Celesio. Correct or incorrect?
Correct.
It would mean, therefore, the impeachment motion must be read together with the complaint by Celesio. Correct or incorrect?
Incorrect.
Can you refer to paragraph 11 of the motion? (11A), can you read it to the Senate?
Yes, I can read.
Read it for us.
Page 7 of 68. Evidence of the governor engagement, convenience, and complicity in the proceeding. 2, gross violation of the Constitution. 3, 2, gross misconduct. 3, gross abuse of office to be found in a complaint by Duranira Saresio Mutuma to Ethics and Corruption Commission on 11th August 2023.
So you agree, you were given sufficient notice that the Assembly will be relying on the complaint by Celestio in the motion itself. Correct or incorrect?
Incorrect.
Fair enough.
Incorrect.
We said it's okay, we can live with your answer. But let's go to the complaint by Celestio. Can you go to page 4, volume 2? What does it say? At 2.5?
For volume.
It refers to Kadhure Rukaria Catherine, isn't it?
Yes.
It is therefore correct that you had prior notice. There is a complaint by Celestio regarding payments to this particular person.
Kadhure Rukaria.
Did you or did you not receive this page 4, volume 2, Governor KAWIRA? Either you did or you did not receive it.
I want to see the charge first because the charge talks about embezzlement of funds by relatives.
Yes, we moved from the charge to the evidence where you already referred to the complaint by Celestio. The complaint has to be read in its entirety.
The author of the IFMIS report, Saresio, in the IFMIS report, we have more than 100 persons who have received funds.
And all these 100 persons are persons working in your office, correct or incorrect?
And these 100 persons are not mentioned in the impeachment.
Fair enough, Governor. Do these 100 persons work in your office? Either they do or they don't.
I'm not aware of everyone who works in my office.
Good. But does page 17 indicate these are transactions by persons who work in your office? At the top of page 17, does it show that these are transactions by persons who work in your office?
Currently, county government of MERU, we have 6,000 employees, and I cannot know every person by name.
Governor, unfortunately, you don't have the luxury of ducking my questions. My question is, does this IFMIS indicate in black and white that these are transactions by persons working in your office?
I don't.
Either it does or it doesn't.
I don't think so.
Can you read the top, the very first item on that page 17?
Yes.
Read it to the Senate.
Vote. These are small ones, I can't see.
I don't mind if your assistant can read for you.
Okay.
She can read for you.
Vote 3562, Meru, Office of the Governor.
You will agree, Madam Governor, the document itself indicates it's about transactions in your office, not another office.
In my office, from July 2022, when I was not the governor of Meru.
Yes, and while you were seated here, we pointed out only 12 transactions lie in the previous regime, all the others have happened when you were the governor, correct or incorrect?
And that's why, Council, you want me to know everyone who, including those who worked in the previous regime, from this document?
You won't get away from this, Madam Governor, by being clever. Can you see page 17? You confirm the transactions begin on 1st July,
Yes.
when Kiraitu was the governor,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And it follows like that, 1st July, and when July ends, the next entries are for 20th September 2022, correct or incorrect?
Correct.
Correct or incorrect?
Correct.
Correct. You are the governor as at September 2022.
Yes.
It must therefore follow that for all these hundreds of transactions, all of them except the first 12 happened during your tenure as governor of MERU.
Yes.
Good. Let's go back to the complaint by Celesio. At page 4, Celesio talks of withdrawals by Kadure Rukaria Catherine, correct or incorrect?
Correct.
And he has analyzed them, and most of them are indicated the payment description is not applicable. Correct or incorrect?
Correct.
In your understanding of government accounting and PFM, should public money be expended and the accounting description is not applicable?
Council, I'm not an accountant.
You are the governor, unfortunately, so answer my question.
As the governor of MERU, the way I understand is that after this IFMIS report, if it's a genuine one, of which I doubt, follows an audited report. Before me, if it was an audited report which clears or rectifies any mess that is in IFMIS report, then it could be a question that I could be easily able to answer.
Does the county government have access to IFMIS?
Yes.
In fact, your junior officials have credentials to IFMIS.
Yes.
Therefore, they could easily have just logged in and printed the correct IFMIS if your case is you doubt the authenticity of this one. Correct or incorrect?
I repeat again that IFMIS extract is not the final document.
That's not
that
my
can be
question,
relied.
Madam Governor. The question is, would your CC finance, would your chief officer finance, would your own chief of staff, who is the accounting officer in your office, do all these people have login credentials to IFMIS?
They have.
Good. And therefore, when the assembly asked you to present the IFMIS extract, all your officials needed was to log in, print, submit. Correct or incorrect?
There was a reply by the...
There is a reply. Answer my question. All they needed to do, if there was any reason to doubt the authenticity of this IFMIS, was to log in and print.
Council, do the assembly rely on IFMIS?
Madam Speaker, I ask that the witness answers my question. I don't want to have an altercation with her. I need your protection, Madam Speaker.
Madam Governor, just answer the question, please.
They have the right to print the...
Yes, and therefore you will acknowledge all they needed to put this matter to rest if there was no embezzlement was to log in and print. Correct or incorrect?
Correct.
But instead of doing that very simple task, your CEC and your officials, what they did is to manually type their own figures instead of those on the system. Page 105 of your response. Correct or incorrect?
Incorrect.
Are you saying the document at page 105 of your response is a system-generated report?
This is generated from my office or from the Salesio?
It is from your office. It is in your response, Madam Governor.
In my response, we are dealing with the IFMIS report by Salesio, the activist, or a report from my office.
If I unpack your own defense for you to answer the question, I don't know, Madam Speaker, who is answering questions. In your defense, you actually rely on the report by Salesio. And in addition, you have brought something you have manually typed, which is a parallel document, not the one from IFMIS.
Counsel, you're insisting that she has typed and she's saying they did not. Can you re-ask the question so that she can answer that?
On its face, the document in your defense, is it generated from IFMIS or is it manually typed? Because that should be clear from the face of the document.
This is the summary of IFMIS payment.
It is not an extract from IFMIS, is it or is it not?
It is an extract of the IFMIS.
Does it have a timestamp?
Time what?
And if timestamp,
Yes.
where is the timestamp? Show it to us.
It has the voucher number, the payee.
I'm not
expense.
talking about voucher numbers. I'm talking about a timestamp. System-generated reports from IFMIS indicate when they were printed, when they were downloaded. They leave a footprint. Who keyed them and when? You will agree, Madam Governor, so that we save time, your document is not system-generated. And that's why I said you typed it. If you refuse to answer the question, I'll proceed and invite the Senate to make whatever conclusions it wants to conclude from that refusal.
Counsel, you can put it to her and proceed.
There?
You can put it to her and proceed.
Madam Governor, I'm putting it to you that you're refusing to answer this question.
I'm not refusing to answer any question.
I put it to you, you're dodging my questions.
Which one particularly?
Whether the report at page 105 of your defense is a system-generated document or a document typed on a desk by someone.
It's a system of a summary of IFMIS payment.
We'll leave it to the Senate to see who to believe on that so that we don't spend all the time on one issue. At page 10 of our volume 2, how much money does Salesio say Catherine Rukaria irregularly withdrew from the vote for the office of the governor? 29, there is a total there. It is how much? Can you read it for the Senate?
Grand total payment made by Catherine Rocaria, 29,018,714.
How much does he give as the total that was withdrawn from your office during this period covered by the IFMIS?
Grand total paid to the county government of MERU.
Yes.
That is 188 million. That is the grand total paid to the county government.
Read the exact figure. What is the exact figure?
88,609,373.
And he says the amount withdrawn by just one Catherine Rukaria is what percentage of the total? It is indicated there in black and white?
15%.
15%.
Yes.
Let's go to lead and cover, same page 10. Again, Salesio has outlined many payments where the description is not applicable. Correct or incorrect on the face of it?
Correct.
Let's go to page 12. that involves your sister. Salesio has again listed all the specific payments to your sister, correct or incorrect?
Correct.
And again, most of them, the item description is not applicable. And on the IFMIS, the description is prepayment. Correct or incorrect?
Correct.
And what is the total amount, this sister of yours?
2,769,000.
Is this amount smaller or bigger than the total amount for the interest you have submitted to the Senate? This amount here of 2,769,000, is it smaller or bigger than the amount you have accounted for?
Let me see the booklet that I have accounted for.
You have only accounted for 2.6 million, Madam Governor, for all the relatives, and yet for just one of them, the amount irregularly disbursed is 2.7 million. I'm putting it to you that the sum of the amount of money you have accounted for all your relatives is actually smaller than the amount paid to just one of them, as per this document.
And as per this document, which is an IFMIS report, the audited report clears any error that is in this report. We have cases in this same report that you are referring to, some of the payments named as hospitality payment, which are hospital surprise rather than hospitality payments. Who will rectify the mess which is still in your evidence booklet named as hospital surprise rather than hospitality surprise?
Governor Kawira, who is responsible for inputting transactions on IFMIS at Meru County?
PFM Act Section 103 gives the responsible person to correct the measures. It
So
establishes the CEC finance is the end and it makes all decisions. And the Public Audit Act 31 spells out the audit process for documents to be tabled before Parliament and Assembly.
So you will agree with me?
So this IFMIS report must go through the audit for us to get a final copy that can be read by this honorable House.
Except that's not the question I asked you, and I agree with you. But you agree the answer to my question is that it is your officials who enter the data in this IFMIS.
Who is right now? Is it our officials or the activists?
Answer my question. Madam Speaker, please.
Councillor, what is your question?
My question is whether it is county officials in Meru who keyed in the data on IFMIS.
Governor?
Yes, it is the county officials for our case.
And therefore you will agree with me, if there is any misrepresentation of hospital as hospitality in IFMIS, the person that should take responsibility for that is your own officials, correct or incorrect?
Correct, and that's why we have another process.
I have received my answer,
audit.
Madam Governor. You have said it's correct. You have given an explanation that the reason your officials and relatives receive all these payments is by way of interest. That's why on IFMIS it is captured as prepayment, isn't it?
Yes.
Are you aware an imprest is to be surrendered within 7 days?
Prepayment cancel is money requested for activities not done, and after the activities have been done, the accounting person accounts for every coin before receiving any other money.
Again, you're dodging my question.